I look at multi-millionaires and billionaires the same way that I looked at bullies and popular kids in high school. I do the same thing with cops. With the police, I think you are either one of two things. Either you were bullied in school and you want to continue your reign of power, or you were the one being bullied and you just want to know what it feels like to do the same. Donald Trump had a very big announcement that he wanted to share with the web the other day. He had his makeup people come in and make him the shade of October and not November to make it, relevant. He didn't want his skin to be too red after all.
Now, many people have questions, and very serious questions. I have a deal for the president, a deal that I don't believe he can refuse, and I hope he doesn't. If Barack Obama opens up and gives his college records and applications, and if he gives his passport applications and records, I will give to a charity of his choice, Inner City Children in Chicago, American Cancer Society, AIDS research, anything he wants, a check immediately for $5 million.
This shit pisses me off more than you could believe. If there's any kind of burden of proof that rich people have too much money, it's shit like this. Barack Obama laughed it off on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, but I can't be that passive. It pisses me off too fucking much.
What's this thing with Trump and you? It's like me and Letterman. What has he got against you here? I don't get it.
This all dates back to when we were growing up together in Kenya.
I have an idea, Donald. Why don't you give $5 million to a charity out of the kindness of your fucking heart? How about that? There are millions of unwanted kids in adoption agencies that don't have the proper care and treatment and toys and shit. There are soup kitchens that are at risk of getting closed down because they don't have any food. There are entire city blocks that are so run down that they look more third world than first. How about instead of trying to prove some irrelevant point, which was, I don't know what again, because I don't understand for the life of me, how about you put your money where your flabby, elderly mouth is? I'm really sick of this shit. I'm sick of the less wealthy people just lying down and letting the rich fuck them in the ass. They underplay the significance of a class war, presumably because the rich can afford entire militaries and the poor among us can't afford locks for our doors. I'm not suggesting that Barack Obama isn't wealthy. He certainly is, but that's not the point. How many of us have been sued by rich people and rich conglomerates and lost simply because they could afford a lawyer and you couldn't? How many of us have been bullied by people simply because they had money? Donald Trump's announcement isn't what bothers me. In fact, I could care less about that. What bugs me is the passive reaction we have as a general public. As a collective, we should be outraged that Donald Trump is holding $5 million hostage just to get what he wants. And it's honestly just a big PR stunt anyway, because at this point, who the fuck cares about Donald Trump? And more importantly, what the fuck would this prove? Nothing. We should all rise up with our middle fingers waving proudly in the air and say, fuck you, Donald, and fuck you, rich people alike. Fuck you, you rich cocksucker. I won't let you fuck me anymore. Quit playing the game by their rules. Just because the rich have more money than you doesn't mean that they fucking own you too. Rise up and make your voice heard. Otherwise, we're doomed to low tax rates on the rich and these bullying tactics that they use against us on a regular basis. Have a nice fucking day, if you can afford to have one, I guess.
Have you met him?
I haven't actually.
You haven't actually met him?
No, I have not.
Okay.